one of the complications in life lately is that over the last couple of decades is that people don't know how much they're going to have for an income. So now they've got these balances, and $300,000 looks like a lot, but when you think about making it last over the rest of your life, is that enough? So that'll be something that people I've found really need to understand: is 300,000 enough? Is 3 million enough? Those are the $64,000 questions that hopefully we'll get into.
Okay, everybody, I want to thank you very much for listening to this video. If you or someone close to you has been working at Cargill for their career and they're kind of closing in on retirement, this is probably a really great video for you to watch. I have in the office with me today, the studio, Larry Alderson and Ben Robinson. Both of these guys are Stonehouse advisors who work with a lot of Cargill employees, especially when they are on the doorstep of retirement and ready to walk through that door and into that next chapter of their life. So you guys have a seminar coming up here soon. I'd love for you to tell us the details of where it is and when it is, and then also fill us in on kind of a teaser of what you'll be going through in that seminar.
Yeah, sure. So join us Thursday, August 8th at Grovedale Winery at 6 p.m.
Everybody knows where that is.
Yeah, right down the road from work. So right at Grovedale Winery, we'll have a little section in there. Join us. We'll have food, we'll have free drinks, and Larry and I will talk about your Cargill retirement.
So free wine.
Free wine. That's right. Yep.
Okay, that's a good teaser right there.
Yep. Who wouldn't want to come to that, right?
Yeah, exactly. So Larry and I will go through a presentation. We'll have the free food and free wine, and then we'll just talk about a couple different things. Larry, do you want to talk about kind of some things that we'll go through?
Yeah, so like who might want to come would be particularly not just for the free wine, but if they're thinking about exiting Cargill in the next maybe 3 to 6 years, as soon as imminently or in the next 3 to 6 years. And why is because retirement's kind of complicated these days. Life is complicated, and retirement's kind of very complicated.
It can be.
Yeah. How do you get paid when you're not getting paid anymore? Where's that next paycheck come from? The Cargill stock is kind of unusual in the retirement space. So people might have questions about that. So we'll be talking about all that stuff, tax strategies, how we integrate all of this with Social Security and things like that. So that'll be good.
Yeah, and then we'll talk about how Stonehouse can help you with that whole process. Just because, like Larry had just mentioned, it is a complicated, well thought out process. So we want to make sure whenever we meet with a client that we not only understand where you're invested today, but we want to set you up for future success as well. So we take our clients, we want to get all of those details put together, put a plan together for you, make sure that you're set up before you get your last paycheck.
It's the way one of the complications in life lately is that over the last couple of decades is that people don't know how much they're going to have for an income. So now they've got these balances, and $300,000 looks like a lot, but when you think about making it last over the rest of your life, is that enough? So that'll be something that people I've found really need to understand: is 300,000 enough? Is 3 million enough? Those are the $64,000 questions that hopefully we'll get into.
Yeah,
Totally.
That show seemed like a lot of money, by the way, back when we were kids.
That was a show for people that are...
I don't even know what you're referring to there.
It was a game show. It was a game show. But, we were just talking before the cameras started rolling here today that really it's people always think of a certain dollar amount to get to retirement and be comfortable, right? It's actually a lot more than just a dollar amount, because we can all attest here that some people that we work with 200,000 could live a nice retirement, and others with 2 million struggle. And it has to do with discipline, it has to do with your lifestyle and your spending habits and things like that. So I think what I love about what you guys do with folks that come to the seminar, you kind of give them more details at the seminar, but then on your one-on-ones, if they want to sit down with you personally, is this, I always say, like, to strip away the noise. It feels like it's really hard for people. Hey, I have a series of decisions here. Even if there's more than just one, it's just all the other stuff. Plus you're no longer working where you've been working for decades. Your life is changing outside of the financial part. And so it's just a lot. And so I think when you guys sit down with them, you kind of eliminate some of the choices that are clearly not a good fit for them. And then you say, these are the priorities. And that really, I think it is kind of like the calmness kind of sets in, and like they can make some good decisions.
I hope one of the things that's really different about what people might get from us versus some of these there's seminars. I know people get these cards all the time inviting them to dinner and whatnot. Most of those people are from out of town,
right?
And they don't speak Bradford County, Wyoming County, Susquehanna County English.
Yeah.
We are local. We don't speak jargon. So, but we've done this with a lot of folks, and we can do the right translation and speak in their language.
Yeah.
We're one of you.
Yep. Not only that is one of the Stonehouse differentiators or things that I really appreciate is that not only do we speak their language, but we're also fiduciary. So we're doing what's in their best interest. One of my favorite things to do with clients is go through their budget and cash flow, just to make sure that what they're set up to do in retirement makes sense. Because I've had a couple people come looking to retire, and they just aren't sure what they're spending their money on or how much they might need. So I really like just going into the details and making sure that your retirement income streams can match what you're spending. And like Larry had said, Bradford, Susquehanna, Wyoming County folks, their budgets might look way different than people down in Lycoming and Lackawanna counties. So we want to make sure that we're setting up a plan specifically for you, for Cargill folks.
And including their significant others. So whoever they're planning with, that's all part of the equation too. So that's very important.
Yeah, like if it can't, like, it's simple math. Some of what we do is simple math, right? And sometimes the answer is it doesn't look like it's going to work. It's pretty low probability you're going to have success if you leave with this amount of money, with this lifestyle. But then, to your point, Ben, the second part of what you do is, here are some ideas of how you can make it work. Here are some adjustments and things that if you really need to leave at this point in time, or you really need to have this lifestyle, then you can, here's how we adjust the plan. And it's not only to say it to them, but to show them. We have a lot of visual help, right, that we can put up on a screen or let them take home, that they can really get to work. Get to work to not work. Does that make sense?
Get to life.
By the way, when you talk about the folks that come in and put on a nice dinner, those things usually end up having, especially if they're from out of town, they usually end up having one specific product.
Yeah, usually at the bottom it says, the speaker is licensed to sell,
right,
fill in the blank.
This product that
Guess what they're going to talk about. The old saying is that if you're a hammer salesman, everything looks like a nail.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's one great thing about our seminars. It's not high pressure. We're not high pressure to sell anything. We're just there just because we want to help people. At least that's the main thing that I want to do, and I know Larry wants to do as well, just to make sure that we help you get a plan set up, and we want to be your client. We want you to be clients with us for 20, 30, 40 years. So that's a really important piece to a full retirement picture.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that, because a lot of people think that when it's time to retire, so I just go do this one thing in a couple of months period of time and then I'm set. And from our perspective, we know that because we have literally a lot of people in retirement that we work with, and that's when the work begins. That's when our work begins usually, right? We're setting them for Social Security, for Medicare, for all the estate planning issues, helping their kids, things like that. There's tons of stuff that we do every day, and people are usually like, oh, I didn't realize that all these things, all these decisions were on the other side of that doorway into retirement, but they can be fun if you work it the right way and you give them those flexibility, those choices, the flexibility to change their life. I love it. You kind of empower people.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what else? Is there anything else anybody needs to know? Why? It sounds like if you're in Cargill, anywhere close to retirement, it's definitely worth coming to. Plus, there's free wine. I think I've hit that enough.
Yeah. Anything else?
Come with questions.
Yes.
I mean, it should be a relatively intimate setting, so we love answering questions.
Okay.
Not that people might want to bare their souls and get detailed about their budgets in front of a bunch of other people, but some people do, and people have questions. So if you feel comfortable asking questions, we love questions.
Yeah, and I should probably mention a lot of times that these things, whether you're doing it in a group, usually offside on the side, one-on-one, or even if they call for an appointment after, it's not just Cargill, right? They have other things going on in their life. They have a spouse that has a different job. They have land. They have other assets they have. So we integrate all that stuff into their picture. So, and you guys are used to dealing with that. So
Love it.
good. Yep. What's the date and the place again? One more time.
Sure. Thursday, August 8th at Grovedale Winery at 6 p.m.
Okay.
Yep.
Guys, thank you very much. I know you're itching to get back to the office and get back to work. So really appreciate it. Thanks
Thank
for taking
you.
the time.
Appreciate it. Yep.